Back, our rolling coverage continues on this voting day. Now, earlier I said we heard from the IEC that 5 voting stations, that was at 5 o'clock, had still not opened. I guess we should see this in the context that there are more than 23,000, there are 23,000 voting districts usually represented by those polling stations, but 5 of them, and one of them in Buffalo City in the Eastern Cape. And I'd like to show you something interesting, and then I'm going to bring in our guest, Dr. Somadoda Fikeni. Great to have you with us for some analysis. So let's look at Buffalo City. We've got some demographics, and you can find this for yourself. This is Wazi map. So just some interesting things. The median age in Buffalo City, 25. So that's a young population. Nearly 1 million people living there. And some interesting stats down here in terms of households that are in formal dwellings, nearly 25%. So 1 in 4 living in shacks. Although their earnings aren't awful, 29,400 annual average household income, which aligns with the rest of South Africa. 91% have a cell phone, so maybe that's why they can organize so well. Does this tell you anything, Doctor?
Well, I do think that it generally represents what you are seeing in the urban areas, especially the metros in South Africa, where you have a population coming from the rural areas, looking for opportunities in the cities, ending up in the informal settlements, even as the government try to chase the targets that they have. Those are moving targets. At the same time, you also have immigrants from other countries seeking opportunities. That's where you do have a contestation for resources in these particular cases. But the other one, Africa and South Africa, is a very youthful continent, and we're a very youthful country.
And one of the concerns has been apathy amongst young people in terms of not registering. Could we see that play out in turnout, in sort of young people maybe getting involved in demonstrations rather than going to the polls in these specific areas that we're talking about?
That's precisely the reason why I would be reluctant to use the word apathy, because apathy would be a person who has just withdrawn and is resigned. They might be having a legitimacy crisis of our body politic, of the system itself, and they are finding expressions in other forms, such as your protests and such as your service delivery, you saw at the universities as well. So the youth might not be having faith in the political system, in government in general, because you have seen the numbers that are eligible to vote, but they are not registered.
All right, please stay with us.